And for Off the Block, I'm Vinny Lipson. We're now joined by Lewis men's volleyball head coach Dan Friend. And Coach, it's that time of year again, the fall, the preseason is starting. I know it's already been a busy preseason for you guys, playing York from Canada in a preseason match earlier this week. How would you assess the start of your team's preseason?
Well, it's been good so far. We've been going pretty short, and we only had a few days before we played York in terms of just, getting the guys all on the same page and everything. So, and, ultimately we've got, 8 freshmen and 2 transfers and graduated 8 seniors last year, so there are definitely some different pieces, and we're definitely doing a couple things a little bit different, and, it'll definitely take some time to get where we want to go.
Yeah, and Coach, in talking about some of the seniors that you lost, obviously you lost an All-American opposite, an All-American outside attacker. Who are some of the players you are looking to maybe step up in the starting lineup this year?
Well, I think that's what we're trying to figure out. We've got, some young pieces with, Mitch Perinar, who was on the men's junior national team. Jake Walinga, who's a possible libero starter for us. There's Julian Moses, Simmons, Trevor, Wishkasher. So these guys are all possible guys on the outside for us. Will McCall. So Giovanni Rosa, who transferred in with Cal Baptist. And I see what we're doing right now is just trying to kind of battle it out and kind of see who kind of rises in terms of the fall season. And we've got some competition dates that allow us to get some good data and see who kind of is better and thrives in which atmosphere, and then we'll kind of go from there.
I want to ask you about the fall season. For you as a coach, and you've been around this before, what's the biggest goal of the fall season? Is it to implement a system, or is it to work on specific techniques of the game, or is it a combination of both?
A combination of both, for sure. I think we talk a lot about process and the process to get where we're going to go, and we're not really result-driven right now in terms of, these wins or losses in the fall. And, we're trying to get more discipline in the systems that we run, at the same time, build some chemistry and unity. Because not only was it the starters that we graduated last year, we graduated some impact seniors that were really great role players. And so you're talking about all that synergy that you're trying to recreate. And we had a good core group of guys that came back, but you also inserted a bunch of new guys, and so getting everybody to understand the ins and outs of how the program runs and what we do on a day-to-day basis, and then at the same time getting better at volleyball within the system that we're trying to run. And it definitely takes time, and the fall is a great opportunity to take advantage of matches that we're going to play against. We play the Canadian team, we go out to Long Beach, we play Ohio State, we have our home tournament, so all stuff that allows us to get better and really kind of push for the most part.
And talking about some of your returning players, Bobby Walsh returns. Last season he led the nation in blocking. But for you as a coach, what do you think are some of the areas that you think that he could get even better at than what we saw last year?
Well, Bob's a great player and is a leader for us right now, and I think, he's working to become a better attacker in general, as well as being better out of system or kind of the setters off the net in terms of that, you know what I mean? So, and those are some things that we're trying to improve in his game so he can kind of take that next level, and the leadership is another part of that, you know what I mean? Before he was, there were 8 seniors next to him, and now it's, him and Scott and, a couple other guys that are the seniors this year, and so in terms of him just taking that leadership role and kind of pushing forward with that is really important at the same time. So.
And Coach, I want to ask about the 2016 season. Looking at your schedule, you have some great matches to start, especially playing UC Santa Barbara, and then you're going out to the Outrigger Invitational. What do you think about your non-conference schedule this year?
I like it. I think it's good. I think, as we've always done in the past, we're trying to challenge ourselves as much as possible with our schedule to put ourselves in a good position. I think it's great we're having Santa Barbara out to play us, and then the Hawaii is always a great trip. You get out of here, have a winter, go there for some warm weather and play some great volleyball matches, and they've changed that format a little bit, so we pick up a Conference Carolina team at the same time, and then ultimately we play a couple Conference Carolina teams, we play a couple East Coast teams, then we go out to the Long Beach Active Ankle Tournament, which will be great for us to pick up a couple matches out there about mid-season. And so, of course, always our conference is tough. But I think, with the RPI and all the other stuff that you've seen over the years, I just think that, you got to schedule tough and put yourself in a position where these guys are going to get better. And so, we may get some wins, we may take some losses, but in the end, it's going to make us a better team where we want to be.
Yeah. Well, you talked about your match against UC Santa Barbara, and that's just one of a few matches that MIVA teams are going to be hosting against MPSF squads, which historically is kind of rare. But, what's got that feeling in the conference, knowing that you guys are finally getting these schools in your gyms?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. I think one is not only that they want the competition, from their conference standpoint, but it is a little bit of that RPI thing and the weight that they're seeing that it holds. So I think you're seeing them trying to make a collective effort to play these non-conference matches, and they've even adjusted their conference schedule in the MPSF to allow them a couple more days to try to do that. I think they're continuing to kind of work on that a little bit, but ultimately I think it just pays dividends for volleyball. It just makes the sport better across the country, and you're seeing these high-level matches, and you're always going to see us travel out there, but I think trying to get a few of those teams this way is always a great thing. And I always tell Chicago it's a great venue to play both us and Loyola. It's not a bad trip, so anytime we can get teams out here, it's really good. And now you're seeing that Pac-10, Big Ten challenge with a few of those teams, so that'll be really good at the same time. You got the ABCA showcase thing. So we've got these bits and pieces that are kind of in there that are kind of helping grow the sport and giving opportunities to play across the country.
Yeah. And, Coach, I saw a little bit of news came out internally amongst your team. Matt McCarthy got a promotion to an associate head coach position. Can you just talk about your thoughts about Matt as a coach and what he's meant to your program?
Yeah, I'm not sure we have long enough, Vinny, in terms of that. But Matt's great. I think the promotion, rightfully so. He does so many things for me that people probably aren't even aware of. He is my other full-time coach. Mark is a graduate assistant and works like he's full-time, but I put a lot on Matt's plate, and I think the title reflects really how much he's done for the program just in his tenure year, and he's, I think, going on his 7th or 8th year in terms of that. And that was a way to show kind of a little bit of appreciation, but at the same time just to kind of, mark his title of what he really does take care of for the program, and I don't think we'd be where we're at if we didn't have him.
And, Coach, talking about your offseason, I know it was busy with USA Volleyball. You coached the U.S. Men's Junior National Team, led them to a winning record down there, but you had to face the group of death. But, what do you take away from that time with the U.S. Men's National Team?
Well, one, anytime you get to represent your country, it's awesome. Do you know what I mean? And I'm really thankful that USA Volleyball keeps letting me stay involved over the past years. And so, but that group worked hard. It was a tough pool. We were in that pool with Russia and Argentina and Poland, and Russia and Argentina ended up playing for the gold. We go 5 with Argentina, and we're right there. And Argentina played a great 5th game, and we were playing some pretty good volleyball after 4 days of practicing in terms of a prep standpoint. You know what I mean? But we progressively got better. Kind of broke down against Poland. Russia. They're really good, and we played them tight on a couple games, but they're just ultimately a little bit better than us. And what I liked was, in that second pool round, we won the next 3 matches. And we went 3-0 in pool. Lost a tough one to France in the bracket part of that end, but then bounced back and finished on a win. So finishing 500 in terms of kind of where we were at, and I think it was a great experience for those young men, and they became a better team over that period of 2 weeks in terms of what we were trying to do. And so I was proud of the effort and the attitude and all that stuff. We had a great coaching staff that worked hard to try to put us in that position, and so it was really good.
And, Coach, final question before I let you go. You look at your team, you're going to have a lot of new faces. Is there maybe one player in particular you think could have a breakout season that maybe not a whole lot of college men's volleyball fans know about, but will know about by the end of the season?
Maybe Julian Moses. You know what I mean? I think him, Jake Wallinga, Mitch Perrin, those 3 guys, it'll be kind of interesting to see which of those guys kind of break out. Do you know what I mean? And so, Wallinga was on that Ultimate 18 Gold team a couple of years back, and Perrin has been on the Men's Junior National Team, so a few people know about both those guys. But I don't know if anybody knows about Julian. Do you know what I mean? And so you talk about a player who has kind of been under the radar, and so we're just as curious to kind of see where he can take off and kind of go.